Hello and welcome to the Sacred Synthesis Energy Conclave. Have you ever heard of the Microcosmic Orbit Meditation technique? If no, you are in for a beautiful treat in learning a relatively simple practice that is so perfect to bring awareness into the body. You circulate energy throughout the entire system. So if you're not just upregulated, you can be in the downregulated state and more relaxed at times, or if you're very stagnant still, then you can bring more awareness and energy into the upward aspects of your being. And this pairs super well with psychedelic journeys, whether in preparation or if you're in a journey itself or even thereafter. So beautiful, and I'm really excited to dive in. But before we do so, I just want to say hello. My name is Cynthia. I am the priestess and co-executive director at the Sacred Synthesis, and we are a non-dogmatic entheogenic community. And if you're tuning into this on YouTube, I want to invite you into our proper community platform, which is currently held on School. So you can see the links below to tune into joining our free community. If you're already viewing this inside School, hello, glad you're here. I invite you to please go into the education chat category, and if this teaching lands well with you or you have something additional you'd like to add or comment on, go ahead and leave that in the education chat on the main chat wall. So let's get into Microcosmic Orbit Meditation. So this is a Taoist meditation practice where we move energy or qi through two primary energetic channels in the body. So the first is the governing vessel, and then the other is the conception vessel. And the governing vessel runs up the back, the midline, like imagine like here of the body. So generally from like your perineum, like the lower genitalia region, up the spine, and then over your crown. So if you imagine you're wearing a crown here, like up here, and then toward the upper palate, right? And then the conception vessel, it's actually running down the midline of the front of your body, and is going from your throat, through the chest, in through the belly, through the pelvis, and back towards the perineum. And together in this breathing technique that we'll walk through, you are circulating these powerful energy through these very powerful centers, right? And what we do is we are actually focusing on our inner energy circuit. And if you've gone to or tuned into any of my other energetic teachings here at the Sacred Synthesis, you've probably learned a little bit about the human energy vehicle. So this is a part of our system, our body, our being, our temple that we incarnated into. And just recently someone had joined the community, and in her answer to one of our questions, she said, I believe that the nervous system is a spiritual organ, right? So I think that's a really important thing to tune into. Like, wow, our spirituality, our beingness, part of that is this nervous system and this energetic system that we can play with. And this particular practice is in the Taoist lineage. It is considered foundational because it's really connecting the yin and the yang currents rising through the back channel and the descending energy through the front channel of the body. So you can think of it as like your energetic irrigation system, right? And rather than letting your energy stagnate in like a pooled area, either like up here in the analytical mind or in the throat somewhere, or like in the womb and the lower belly, it's actually like moving all of that water through, and water that is moving is usually clean water. It is healthy water. It is water that we want to consume. So you want to have your inner, energies moving, that water flowing through the system. So essentially you're going to inhale. The practice is to inhale from the pelvic floor, the perineum area, and then just imagine like with your focus, inhaling up the back of the body. So from that perineum area, up the spine, through the back of the heart, the neck, back of the head, up to the crown, right? And then you're going to exhale, following your awareness, right? From the crown down to your third eye, past your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your womb, lower belly, and then back into the pelvic bowl. And many traditions, they encourage you as you're doing this breath and awareness practice to place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And this is understood to connect the front and the back channels, bridging the circuit between the upper palate and the descending channel. In my Kundalini practices, and if you've come to our beautiful ceremonies, which I should mention, we host a virtual ceremony every month for members of the Sacred Synthesis, where you can tune in to working with our beautiful compounds and sacraments, or you don't have to use them at all. You can just come in, tune in, still get a lot of the energetics and the love and the practices anyways. But please tune into those. At the time of this recording, we have a ceremony coming up on the 28th of June. Would love for you to join us. If you missed this this particular month, come back to the member calendar, see what's going on, because there is a beautiful ceremony that we host every month. And in those practices, many times when I'm teaching Kundalini yoga, I'm having you all place pressure at the tip, from the tip of the tongue to the top of the mouth, right? And many times if you're getting very activated in your energy flow and the microcosmic orbit, you'll start to feel like a vibration in your tongue. And it's really quite a special thing to experience. So what is beautiful about the breath is the breath gives rhythm to the cycle, the orbit of your energy, right? So this is really like waking up the sensation that your attention is going to then focus on, right, through the body. So the inhale is like lifting energy up the back of the body, and then the exhale is really like softening as it descends. So you don't want to be forceful with the breath work, and just keep it like subtle, slow, and really attentive. This is something that I do many times laying in bed when I first wake up in the morning. Maybe that's not proper. I many times go rogue with some of my practices, but it feels really nourishing for me, and I sense into my body, and just very slowly, very gently, right? And then the next thing is all about your attention. So where your attention is where sensation typically reveals itself. And many times we're living in a super activated state where we're not getting to be tuned in to what's happening in our physical bodies. So this practice actually trains the mind to become very precise, sensual, and steady. And instead of being like scattered in awareness and all outward, right, we're really guided back into our inner temple and into our focus. And here's the thing, if you can be singular focused with your attention, you are unstoppable in your mission, in your purpose, and so many magical things can happen, and great things can happen quickly because you are super singularly focused. And that's what this practice really helps you do, right? And many times powerful people do not feel disconnected from their body. If you're truly embodied in your authentic power, right, you feel the sensations within your body. So I really encourage you to try out this beautiful practice. And then what else do I want to talk about? Look at my nose here. Yeah, I talked about how the breath really brings you into a singular focus. It also helps you just be in a greater sense of introspection, right? Brings awareness to your spine, to your belly, these various aspects of your body. You might tune into an aspect and be like, oh, I don't feel much here. Something's going on, right? And then you can go in another practice or with your awareness and really provide love and nourishment to that aspect of self. Get curious with it. See if it's a part that needs to be reclaimed and brought back into your, internal family systems, like reunion type of thing, right? And yeah, I think some of the beautiful things, just to say like why to do the microcosmic orbit meditation, is it helps you reclaim your scattered energy, right? I mentioned this already. We live, most of us, in a hustle and bustle world. We get scattered and fragmented, and this really helps us just bring our energy back in instead of having it sprayed all over the place into screens or responsibilities, people pleasing, those types of things, anxiety, performance, yada, yada, you list it. Just bring it gently back into home, back to home plate, back into this beautiful heart that is yours. And it can balance out our rising and our descending currents, right? So we talked about this already. Like, it's like the upward current that people are living in. They're thinking, they're analyzing, they're seeking, even spiritually seeking, disassociating even, and chasing like sometimes people get in the spiritual ego and they're like chasing visions, right? Whereas others are pretty like heavy and in their lower body, so they're feeling stagnant, maybe fatigued, emotionally dense, right? So again, this just gets those currents moving, so we feel a bit more balance in our presentation and our expression, right? And it also helps you build energetic containment. So this is really helping us, like so many other energetic practices, same as working with psychedelics, like we are expanding our capacity, our nervous system's capacity, our energetic capacity to hold more without having to discharge it immediately, right? And the more energy you can hold, positive, powerful energy you can hold, the greater your light shines, right? And the most wonderful impact you can make, right? So this really matters in other types of practices, like in meditation, intimacy, psychedelic work, emotional healing, and spiritual practice. So this simple technique really helps you build up your own inner charge and capacity, which is really, really amazing. And yeah, it connects us more deeply into our sensuality and our spirituality. Sensuality is about being attuned to your senses and all the pleasure that comes from being tuned into all of our senses, not just like the 5 we were taught, but all the transpersonal as well. And that just helps make us even more like superhuman, like the whole human, with the soul fully here and the human body fully here. It's just like, they're in a beautiful connection together, right? And then this just allows for beautiful inner alchemy, like the yin and the yang forces together. I believe I've talked about Hirosgamo's soul union in the internal before, and this is kind of a framework for that beautiful practice to just be, so we can feel the masculine current, we can feel the feminine current, all in the same sitting, and just be a bit more balanced in, again, as in our expression, okay? So I would like to do a little meditation. If you want to take some rounded breaths, we'll go in for maybe like 5 or so minutes, just so you can practice this meditation. So inviting you to close down your eyes, taking some nice rounded breaths, getting comfortable in your seat by having your spine erect or straight if you're laying down. Softening your jaw, maybe like doing a big like lion, like cat stretch, like tongue down the mouth. Help the jaw relax. Relax your shoulders. And just gently place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And with no strain, I want you to just take a gentle inhale and then a soft exhale. Feeling into your pelvic region, just this lower part of your body. If it helps to place your hands there, go ahead and do that. Placing the hands over your pelvic region, your lower cauldron, the center of gravity. And just sitting in this space, feeling the warmth of this region of your body. Bringing your breath deeper into your lower lungs, to your belly and your lower back. Starting to take big, rounded, gentle breaths in and out of the nose. And on your next exhale, I want you to very slowly start to envision, as you inhale, this like target, this beautiful golden bubble moving up from the sacrum, up your lower back, your mid-back behind your heart, back of the neck, up the back of the skull, all the way to the crown of the head, and then pausing for a moment. And then exhaling and gently following that golden orb, moving down over the third eye, over the bridge of the nose, the mouth, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the lower abdomen, the pelvic bowl. And pausing just at the bottom as you fully exhale. And now again, inhaling up the back of the body, past the sacrum, the lower back, the back of the heart, your shoulders, your neck, back of the skull, your ultimate major chakra up above your crown. And then dropping the exhale just slowly after that pause at the top, down the front of the body, just scanning so slowly this part of the body all the way until you get back down into the pelvic bowl. And again, inhaling as you draw awareness from the pelvic floor up the spine, keeping that beautiful gold ball. Just moving the sacrum, the low back, mid-back, back of the heart, neck, Alta Major, the top of the head, and pause for a moment. And then exhaling as you descend on the front, forehead, third eye, bridge of the nose, mouth, throat, heart. Yes, just going down the front of the body. Now doing that on your own, pausing at the base, and then inhaling up the back of the body, calling forth this expansive river of energy to flow up your channel, up your back, pausing at the top. Envisioning now as you exhale, this beautiful just like river of golden water flowing down the front of the body, circulating this beautiful energy, this nectar throughout the front of your body. Then pausing at the bottom and now awakening a river inside of you. And as you awaken this river in your pelvic bowl, bring those river waters up the back, inhaling. Envisioning the spine just becoming so luminous in this golden river light as it comes all the way up the back of the body to the top of the crown. And then pause. And then exhaling so gently. That beautiful luminous golden river all the way down. All the way down. Now just settling into your pelvic bowl. Keeping your eyes closed. Just breathing gently, knowing that this is just a beautiful example of this practice that you can come back to anytime. Feeling into your own energy field. How do you feel right now? Saying great gratitude practices, thank yous to yourself for doing this practice, for showing up for this beautiful, simple, very useful teaching. May it serve you and hold you in the future. And I encourage you to try doing this practice every day. Try it for 10 minutes every day for the next 30 days and let me know how it works for you. Let me know what feels alive in your current, what feels blocked, where there's numbness, tingling, and how all of those sensations shift as you do this practice more and more and more. Thanks for tuning in to this Energy Conclave. We do these conclaves every week. Looking forward to hosting more energy practices. If there's something that you want us to teach on, you're curious about, or you want to recommend a person to be a part of these conclaves, please send us a message at info@thesacredsynthesis. And hopefully we'll see you all in one of our upcoming ceremonies soon. Love you.